My family has a culture where we enjoy Disneyland a lot. I know many people with disabilities have that same enjoyment, but for my family, I believe it's something that could well have happened. Take away the cerebral palsy, leave everything else the same, we still might have fallen in love with it. So, one time I was at Disneyland, and as I mentioned, I'm a lawyer, so my mental capacities are sharp. And, and I've been to Disneyland many times. I know the park straight out by heart. I'm a Disney guy. So, one day, it's late at night, so it's 10 o'clock, 55 degrees, and I'm on my Splash Mountain, which is a water ice. So, I don't remember why, but for some reason I asked the park employee how long the wait was going to be, or something to do with how fast I could get on. So her first response, well, if you do that, it's going to be very cold and very wet. And here's me. Yes, I know exactly what I'm asking. I've done it before with my family, that late at night, that cold. I know what I'm asking. Just tell me what I need to know to get on the ride. And that funny stories and example of cultural differences, because say I didn't have cerebral palsy, I walked up to her and said, hey, how long is the break? She would have responded, oh, it's 20 minutes, go right ahead. And, and I don't fault her for that. I mean, people with lower mental capacity might have really needed that advice, but a big part of dealing with cerebral palsy is I can't wear a badge that says, hi, I'm Michael, I'm a lawyer, I've done A, B, C, and D. Please treat me as if I didn't have cerebral palsy. It's rude, it's boastful, it's arrogant even. So you have to find a way to show you are different and what makes you special while still being respectful of people who I am sure do very good job in helping people with other sorts of disabilities. And I'll give an example of that. When I went to BYU, I decided not to get any jobs in food service. I had one in high school, but I decided that if people see someone with cerebral palsy behind the counter, they're not gonna always communicate on an equal level mentally, because if you work in food service, sometimes you do have mental challenges that make that job the best job you can get. So, but I like people, so my job of choice in my undergraduate years was in the math lab, where I tutored students in math. And that was a whole different mindset. If the customer is a math student and your job is to help them with math problems, you're entering with an assumption of superiority in one level size math knowledge. So because the relationship opens with that mental gap with you in favor, that instantly put me, I should say, on a different footing in interaction with customers than if I had worked in food service or custodial or some other job. So there are lots of subtle ways to try and overcome what you might call discrimination or bullying. Obviously what I did won't work for everyone, but there are a lot of different ways to adapt. So despite your cerebral palsy, you're not seen as much that way in the ways you want to excel in, recognizing of course that not everyone will be as high functioning as I am. Some people with cerebral palsy, the best job they can get is a janitor, and that's great for them. You just need to do whatever it is to get yourself treated the way that's right for you, or if you're a caregiver, help others treat the one you care for in the best way for that person.